Just like that, it must be Thursday night. Welcome to another episode of the Indie Escape Network presents The Sticky Microphone. This evening with special guest, actor, producer, and director Peter Anthony. And before we go further, we're going to have... there we are.
Hey. Hey. Wendy's here and Amy, badass Cote.
Yeah.
We are excited. We have a few things going on. First, besides the fact, Amy, you want to tell us about your cut physique there in kitty hat. Which kitty is that behind you? Is that Triton? Who's that?
That's Titan. That's my boy.
Titan.
Are you talking about my muscles? Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay, so, I work out every day, 5 days a week, 3 hours a day, and I got a trainer, and he gets me where I need to be. So, it's everyone, well, not everyone, but, Wendy, my sisters pick on me because they're like, oh, you're getting too big. I'm like, guess who will protect you if we're in a dark alley from Ghostface? This girl, me.
Amy's my go-to on why I can't get my fat ass down. So Amy's the go-to on our nutrition and muscle advice. So if anybody needs advice on how to get ripped, it's Amy. So
yeah, I'm feeling a little inadequate now. Thank you, Amy.
Oh my God, Joe, I love you so much.
Right. Joe, we look good. We're built the way we're supposed to be. So tonight something pretty exciting is happening. Of course, I'm really excited that we have Peter Anthony. He's a sweetheart. He's a Connecticut guy too, which I didn't realize that about him. I lived in Connecticut. But our new co-host, Jaime Hill, and everybody might recognize her from Skinamarink. She's done a movie called Grotesque. She's got a lot of, she's really up and coming, and, she's been doing some stuff for a while, but it's kind of, really involved in like small, stuff. And I just love her. She kind of has gotten a lot of attention for this, and she's Canadian. So she's polite. We're going to make her not be polite tonight. Right, Amy?
If we have anything to do with it, it's going to go down.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. She's funny, but we'll just make her be not polite. So besides that, so it's her first night joining us. I wanted to make sure that we introduce her before we introduce Peter. So without further ado, let's bring on the lovely Jaime Hill.
I'm scared.
Hey, Jamie.
You're scared. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Yes, I'm Jaime Hill. And why are you scared?
The three of you together is why I'm scared. Jaime, Canadians rule.
Canadians rule. Yeah, I mean, cool. Canada, so glorious and true. You're Montreal. Yeah, we've talked about that because Montreal,
Edmonton, Alberta,
Vancouver, right? You're near Vancouver.
Edmonton is about 12 hours east of Vancouver.
But why do we talk about the World's Fair? Because I thought you were in Vancouver.
I was in '86.
That's right.
But you're aging me now. I'm in my 30s.
Ken's in Montreal.
Yeah, that's right. We're all in our 30s, just like Amy. There you go. So you guys, Jaime, before we get started, before we introduce Peter, is there anything that you want to kind of talk about, like a project of yours that's coming up that we should know about, or something?
There's a few fun things coming out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Being a Mean Mom. Good Arson should be releasing any day, and it was a very contrasting role compared to Grotesque. Nina in Grotesque is very naive and sweet, pretty much a Canadian. Mm-hmm. But Marianne, she's not very nice. So you guys will meet her this year, and looking forward to more scary stuff too. So,
all right. Yeah, definitely. Some cons. By the way, I know, a lot of people on Indie Escape Network, as people might know, are different parts of the country. So everybody is somewhere covering something. Amy and I are going to be covering Fear Fest, at least for a few days, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I saw that Monster Madness is coming up in Charlotte. Maybe we'll try to hit that.
Is that the end of the year? Is that like October or something? Yeah, there's one in Charlotte that comes every year, and I definitely want to get to that.
August or something. But I was going to talk to you about it. But we're going to try to hit that, Jamie. I know you stay really busy. You've been, doing some things up there with cons. I mean, I think it's really nice that we have a presence there.
Calgary. I get to go to Calgary next month. June 17th weekend is Calgary Horror Con. Okay. And there's going to be some Skinamarink people there. So
all right.
That'll be fun.
Well, all right. So, Joe, do you want me to? Should we introduce the lovely and masculine, manly, not lovely, Peter Anthony? Do you want me
amazing man, funny, good actor, amazing personality, one of my very closest friends, Peter Anthony.
Peter, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure that people know, besides, something about Peter is the fact that he actually has writing credits, director, stuntman, actor. He's very good to his fans, right? I mean, he does a lot of the cons.
Yeah, he's a scary ass prisoner, man. Let me tell you.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to run into him in any kind of jail. I can tell you that.
Or if you're in jail, you'd want him to be your guy because
you kind of want to make friends with him, and we know what friends means in jail. Like, you just want to be that person.
I would voluntarily give him my soap on the rope.
Oh, me too. Bent right over and everything. That's what we're doing.
Amy, Peter, I got to say hi to Amy, if I may. Amy, hello. Harlow's Han, representing. Nice.
Peter has been in, I just want to kind of make sure that people know Peter's done things like Roseblood. He's got something coming up, which I won't say anything. Vengeance 1 and 2, Vengeance 2 Bloodlines, which Amy and I were lucky enough to have a little part in. The Sawyer Massacre, Voorhees, I think it was another one that he did, and we'll talk about some of them. So I wanted to at least mention some of the films.
If you haven't seen those films, definitely watch those because he's amazing. Everybody in there, the whole crew, everybody, the cast, they were amazing.
Well, I think we should get him on so you can fend
him
off, right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the sexy, talented Mr. Peter Anthony.
Hi, Peter.
I don't know if I can follow all that.
I know. You have some big shoes to fill, babe.
I know. Now me talking's like a letdown.
Oh, come on. You sound great. And Ken says, Peter, if I could start out by asking, we're talking backstage, kind of, I think it's always nice to start. Kind of give us an idea of your journey. Like, what happened? How did you get into acting? How did you get into being a stuntman? How did this happen?
So acting is weird. So I've been a huge horror fan like my whole life. You can see I have like every Jason mask, and I have 77 masks. I have shadow boxes from stuff from the movies inside of them and stuff. So I've always been a huge horror fan. And then I had my knee replaced from sports, and I was laying around and I saw a convention in 2015. Went to the convention, met Kane Hodder. For some reason, he befriended me. And from there, I started working on the project Voorhees. From Voorhees, I went to Vengeance. They asked me to market. We had a lot of success marketing-wise. We hit the number by 330%. And then they asked me to be the prisoner because we tried to get Steve Dash to be the prisoner, but he was in bad health. So I talked to Steve, but he was in bad health at that time. He's like, what? And they're like, you want to do it? I did it. And then it just kind of went from there. And the marketing was the first tool because I knew a lot of the guys from the horror industry, and I had a good feel of the fans because I always went to the cons and stuff. So marketing was my whole ticket. And then from there, thanks, Brian. And then from there, it became movies. And then I did a lot. Then I produced. Then I, acted. Then I did stunts. Then I wrote. Then I directed. And it's just like that.
It just sort of snowballed all of a sudden. And I don't know if you said was that in your 20s? Was that after college or how?
I'm knocking on 50. That was 7 years ago.
So you got into this kind of horror life.
I'm 9 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. So go figure, right?
That's cool.
You can get into this at any time, I've been told, right?
You just gotta, when you get your break, you gotta work. It sounds cliche, but you gotta work your ass off and be selfless. Well,
you've done a lot. You've also, I thought that was interesting. You were, what's it called? The Armory, when you're in charge of, we happened to have somebody on the other week that was in Rust. So we kind of had a conversation about it.
I was the general in the Rosebud.
I thought you handled the weapons. I don't know if that included guns, but I thought I saw that on one of your credits.
I think that was in Roseblood. I think that's what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah. I did handle that. Yeah. So Rosebud, I did everything. So I wrote, produced, 99% of the stuff. I'm not saying I made the movie by myself. It took a lot of people, but basically I kind of put it all together from the beginning.
Yeah, I saw that you're like definitely like marketing is a big thing for you, which I'm all about promotion. I know all about that. I think that's fantastic. And, any kind of, is that just something that you enjoy doing?
I've been in sales since I was 18. So I'll be 47, almost 30 years. So I kind of feel like I have a good feel for that. And did you see my rant the other day? Is that what you're talking about?
I was just looking.
Yeah.
I was looking at something on you about that. I think that's interesting.
Amy can tell you, I'm pretty good with the fans. I like to think I've probably given $30,000 of my own money in giveaways or stuff.
Wow.
I've given thousands of dollars to children. We gave $27,000 to Shriners Children's Hospital.
Like Peter's very selfless. Like very.
So like when, and this is where I'm not selfless, I guess, is when calling people out, because then you have people who do campaigns who just take people's fucking money, don't give a shit, and they just do it again and again and again. We've all seen it online, and they take good people's money and people who think they're going to have a part or be like successful in the industry, and they don't give a shit, and they just do it over and over again. It just bothers me, and I don't really like to call people out, but I didn't call anybody out. But
that's something too, though, because I have a conversation with my boyfriend about this. That they don't. You can do that. I mean, it's something sad that you can do. You can go on and you could basically do a Kickstarter campaign or Indiegogo and not do the movie and keep the money. Am I right?
100%. You can't get in trouble.
Horrible. I mean,
horrible.
But I
think we've all been a part of something like that. That's happened to me a few times. So it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've all been a part of those.
It's like an epidemic to a degree. And the other part is there's well-intentioned people that are really, really good people. And they'll just say, okay, well, I'm going to go and raise 50 grand, do this and that. I'm like, what? How are you going to raise 50 grand? There's no game plan. There's no Indiegogo. We're just going to raise 50 grand and get these stars. Like, do you understand how much that is? And do you understand you got to raise 75 to get 50? Do you understand you pay 40% tax at the end of the year? Do you understand what your perks cost you money? Like, they just don't get it.
I think, and I'm sure that because you all feel the same way. There's people in this industry they're well intentioned, but they're dreamers, and they don't. They're like, I'd like to raise $100,000. I'd like to do this film, and they don't really. They think that if they just say, hey, I'm making a film, people will just donate, and some people they might have friends that'll be like, okay, sure. But I think that there are people that they don't have a plan. They're not used to doing this. So there's things that fall through that never happen for those reasons. They just don't really know what they're doing. And it's, running an Indiegogo, I've been in the passenger seat of seeing it. It's a lot of work. You have to get creative with your perks. You have to kind of keep refreshing and kind of come out with stuff. So, but I think that's indie film in general. I mean, that's, some people can put up their money, which is great if you can, but you shouldn't feel bad if you have to raise it too. I mean, right?
Most people have to in the independent business. They have to raise them kind of funds.
But in all my films, I put the fans in them too. Now, I don't have to, and sometimes I'll get slack from heat from critics, and they're like, "Oh, that guy wasn't that good." I'm like, well, he was a fan, and he gave us $2,500. I just made his dream come true, and he made our dream come true. So I don't care.
Well, Peter, who in Roseblood was your favorite to be in the film with? Who? I mean, I know you loved everybody, but who was your favorite person to act with, like to meet and to have on that film?
The big three. So Lar Park Lincoln, Terry Kaiser, and Kevin Spears. I mean, so that shadow box right there is part 7. And as a kid, part 7 is my favorite. Kane's a good friend now. And the fact that I was sitting there in front of them while they're acting, reading my script, and I'm telling them how to be themselves from part 7. It's one of those moments you're so busy, but then I was looking at the script, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
It's like surreal.
Yeah, why are they listening to me? So that was just as a kid growing up. So when I was 6 years old, I used to sneak downstairs and watch Jason movies and put masks on. So as a kid, like that actually happening, it just was surreal. So as far as besides that, David McMahon, the guy who plays Dr. Sykes, he's a phenomenal actor. I love working with him also.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you never, and this was something I thought, and I think I was wrong. You've actually never played Jason. You've never.
I've been asked to several times.
Right. I read that.
Especially when I used to bodybuild. But I love him so much. I'm only 5'11". I feel like I don't do it justice. And Jason Brooks is such a good Jason that, like, how could I ever pick myself over him? I just couldn't do it.
Did a great job. Matter of fact, how tall is Cote? I don't know if you know Cody Husky. How tall is Cody? He's like 6'5" or something.
No, 6'3". Yeah, he was actually Jason. Jason Brooks is 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah,
Cody. Yeah, because when we were in the grind and he played Leatherface, he had no issues just throwing me over his shoulder.
Oh,
I
he's
mean,
a
it was
tank.
just like nothing for him. He
Yeah,
was just like, it was like a bag of groceries. He was like, I'm like, am I hurting you? I'm sorry. He's just like hurting me. I lift you every day in the gym. Okay.
Yeah. Me and him
Okay.
talk bodybuilding like all the time. So we're like old, bodybuilding fans.
Gosh, Jamie, I'd love that. Has anybody ever lifted you over their shoulder? That was what I was hoping for, but somebody tried and they broke their back and it made me feel bad.
I mean, it's not as glorious as you think it is because his shoulder kept going into my like pelvic area. And I was like, you need to let me adjust myself. Okay.
Oh, that's
He was like, I just want to get it done. I'm like, let me move back because I can't breathe. You're like up in my ribs and then you're down here where you shouldn't be. Like, get in the middle.
I've never had that. Yeah, that would hurt your like keek area, right?
Hey, it's worse if you got a package, trust me, because there's nowhere to put it.
Interesting. Speaking of packages, Joe.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of balls, there's Joe.
So this has nothing to do with movies, but I had a discussion with somebody about this today, and I'd love to know about this. Why does it hurt? And explain the pain of getting kicked in the balls. I need to understand it.
You can go first, Joe. Yeah.
Instant nausea.
That's what I hear.
Suck the air out of you or something?
Amongst other things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can elaborate being a fighter when Joe's done.
Okay. Oh.
It only happened to me once when I was like a kid, under 13. So I don't have too much experience with getting kicked in the nads, but I do remember feeling like I was going to puke my brains out. And yes, the wind knocked right out of you, down. I'm sorry.
How long are you
Peter,
out for?
I don't remember. I was a kid. Peter, go ahead.
All right, Peter.
So all the above, it'll knock the wind out of you. It'll throw your lower abs into a massive cramp situation. And the pain is, it actually shuts your body off. So you'll watch UFC and guys will have their arms snapped backwards and they don't tap. Or they'll be choked out, they don't tap. They break an ankle, they don't tap. You kick him in the nuts, what happens? He goes down. It's not you can't tough it out. It's your body shuts off. It's just an unbelievable pain.
So you're saying if you like get kidnapped, you should try to hit them in the balls.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
It's basically like an organ that's surrounded by light skin. If you think about it,
Are the nads? I gotta ask. Are the nads? Is that the same as balls? I feel like it is.
Yeah. Well, the term comes from gonads, but yeah, it's the same thing.
I just say testiculars.
Only on this show do we end up. It'll always go there. Jamie, what's your feeling on gonads? How do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, I have a medical background, so I'd have to say the medical term would probably be the best to use.
Gonads.
Testes.
Anyway, so yes.
Testes.
There's been fighters that have had them kicked up into their body, and you see them put them between two chairs and push them down till their nuts fall back out.
No comment.
Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube.
That is awful. And if you get kicked in the actual unit, that doesn't hurt like in your, in your.
Not usually. If you get kicked in the tip, but if you're flaccid, it doesn't really, just like meat. Don't.
But
hurt.
you're not, clearly.
Yeah, I am super hard right now when Joe got back out.
Yeah, of course.
I just feel like if I had balls, I'd play with them. I don't know. I just feel like it'd be fun for a few minutes.
And
you know what I mean?
saying, why am I getting woozy listening to this?
Just give me 5 minutes. That's all.
Interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Jarrell, director and writer of Harlow's Haunt. Thank you for joining us this evening. You and Amy, we do appreciate it.
Yes.
Amy here
Terry
a second
is
ago.
awesome.
There she is.
Hey, ladies. Oh, Amy. Another Amy with an I. So another question I have for Peter, and you guys please interrupt me because you know me. I'm always asking questions. I probably don't need to ask this because I know you have your favorite, I think. But your favorite Jason, is it who I think it is?
Favorite Jason or favorite movie?
Favorite Jason. I don't know if I can.
Kane Hodder all day.
I said Kane. I knew it.
Before I met him. Yeah, he was always his name. I used to sneak into the movie. Remember back in the day, you guys are my age, right? Remember how the movie, Jamie too, right? You guys, we used to know by looking at the newspaper on that one page on the back of what the times were for the movies. What would happen is my parents, there was a movie theater right in our town, and my parents would just drop us off, me and my buddy, when we were like 12 or 15, and then go pick us up right after the time. So we would look and try to find a movie that was close to Friday the 13th time, and then say we were getting tickets for that. Now, you go to movie theaters today, people don't understand. Young kids, they don't even really give a shit. Like, you just walk in, they don't care. Back in the day, it was a big deal. They checked your tickets. They used to go up and down the aisle with the flashlight and all that stuff. So we went to like Mac and Me, I think, and then got out of Mac and Me and went into like Friday the 13th Part 7, whatever, to watch it. So that was 7 was always been my favorite Jason by far, and Kane Hodder.
I love Kane, man.
Yeah, he's all right. He told me to fuck off one too many times.
That means he likes you.
Yeah, he told me to fuck off when I went to the horror fest. Me and my sister, he told me to fuck off. And he was like, well, I mean, since you guys are the prom queens here, is everyone staring at you? And I was just like, no. And he was like, oh, fuck off, bitch. And I was just like, what?
Fun fact, he was the very first interview we did 6 years ago.
Oh, we what? You did tell me that. That's right. Interesting. Yeah, I've heard from all you guys that he's a nice guy and everything like that. To be here, welcome to. Oh, that was nice. Welcome, Jamie. I don't know. And my other thing that I've asked about this, because I'm, people that are super fans like yours. I mean, not that I'm not a fan, but like all the different, like the biggest is Jason of all. Like we're talking like Mike. No,
I feel like Leatherface is. I feel Leatherface is bigger.
Jamie, they know their body types, like that's the thing, right?
Who's bigger. The biggest person ever was in Freddy vs. Jason. He was 6'9". So yeah, if you're talking about that, yeah.
Oh, so who played him? Why do I not know that?
Ken Kersinger, Freddy vs. Jason, 6'9", Canadian, Jamie.
6'9". How do you even get that tall?
Do me a favor, ask Kane about that movie.
Yeah. The best thing is, Joe, I usually sit at his table when we go to cons and hang out with him, and a guy came up and gave him a Freddy vs. Jason thing and wanted him to sign it. And now remember the show, what was the show he was on with Adam Green?
Fuck.
Anyways, he said he was over it, and he said in multiple interviews he was over it. And so this guy comes up to him and goes, "Hey, sign this thing." And he looks at the guy and gets all shitty, kind of weird with him, and then he signs it anyways. And I said, "Man, you said you were over it, man." He goes, "I fucking lied."
Yes. I've spoken to him about that a few times, and it's funny because David Howard Thornton is just like, well, they don't know it's not me, but I'm gonna sign it anyway, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking about the first one.
Yeah.
Well, Kane was he was Jason more times than anybody. Am I right?
7 through 10.
7 through 10.
Okay.
Yep.
When I met Kane, he kept saying he wanted to play Jason one more time, but they kept saying he was too old or something, and I'm like, well that's just straight
that
bullshit.
He wasn't in Freddy vs. Jason. He was.
The world was pissed.
Mad about it, huh?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So Mike Myers or Michael Myers?
Michael, damn it.
Michael Myers. He's the littlest. He's littler. He's smaller.
No, Freddy is.
Freddy is the smallest.
Freddy's the smallest. Okay. Well, Robert.
I don't know why you don't know this. Okay. How many times I gotta school you on your serial killers?
But regular Michaels are like 6'1"ish, but Tyler Mane was like 6'6".
Yeah, he was big.
Ones, yeah.
The Rob Zombie and the Rob Zombie ones are too. Those are my favorite. One of the favorites. I love Rob Zombie Halloweens.
I like part 1 for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2 and the freaking white horse. Get the hell out of here with that shit.
I didn't like.
Yeah, what was that?
Wait, which
I felt like I was in a fantasy. It was weird.
Which one? Which one was that?
The second Rob Zombie one.
It'll be called Halloween 2, but it's Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So what year was that? I don't even know. 2010. I don't even know. Yeah.
That's interesting. Besides Friday the 13th, hey JW, welcome Jamie. He says, sorry I'm late. Aw. He has one of our shows on the network. Peter, who's one of your favorite other, besides Jason, one of your favorite bad guys?
Oh, besides bad guy, you mean like slashers?
Well, right. So it could be slasher and non-slasher. Like, who's some of your
Michael for sure. And then probably Freddy, and then probably Leatherface. Only because Leatherface I just don't have a lot in common with. Not that I don't love him. It's more like white trashy Southern shit. No disrespect to anybody in Southern. Okay. But it doesn't like correspond with me. I didn't grow up on a farm. I don't fucking rip people's faces off. Where the Jason thing kind of was alpha male kind of thing. It stuck more. And Freddy's smart. So
Pinhead. Oh, Pinhead.
I feel like, you know, a lot of people felt more bad for Leatherface because of his story. It was more of like a sad thing. I mean, I felt bad for him. See, I feel bad for all of them. I feel like I could join them. I feel like they would let me. They wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah.
They would be like, "You're hot, so we're just gonna I'm gonna pull you in. This is what you're gonna help me."
You would be like the movie that you don't like but I liked, which was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one with that pretty girl. And
the 3D, that shit sucks.
Oh, that's the one with Dan Yeager who we were speaking about earlier.
It wasn't the Leatherface was good. I loved the main girl. I can never remember her name, Alexandria or something.
Pretty, yeah.
Okay.
She was really good, and there were so many things that were wrong. I don't know. I didn't feel it.
To the story or something.
You realize I'm going to have to edit this out, right?
What?
Her saying that about part 3.
Oh yeah, take it out. You know, it's fine.
Oh.
You realize that I used to work with Dan and Ron in Bad Anger Pictures. Stop it.
I thought the movie was I told Wendy, it wasn't horrible. I thought it was good. I just didn't. It was some of the actors. It just wasn't. It was like the last Leatherface that came out. I didn't like it.
No, I'm busting your chop. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Absolutely.
I liked it. I thought it was good, actually.
So,
Jamie, you're so quiet over there.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got to hear from Jamie.
I want to hear some Jamie stuff. Jamie, come on. Hit us with some stuff. Your horror movie expertise over there.
I like Freddy. I've always liked Freddy. Freddy was like the beginning for me. And Chucky. So I didn't watch much Leatherface or Jason. I remember Freddy versus Jason coming out.
Yeah, that's what
you
John
like
Wayne
Freddy
was saying
because he's
too.
hot, right?
Chucky now killing it in episodic TV.
Yeah.
This is very true.
Chucky was funnier. I don't know.
When I saw what's the name of it? Chucky the
Child's Play?
Thank you. I saw it in the movie theater when I would have been how old? Whatever. I was in high school when it came out, I guess. I was laughing. I didn't think it was scary. I thought it was funny. I wasn't sure if they were kidding. I mean, I know it's got a huge cult following.
The Chucky series, the Chucky show that they came out with was really good.
Yeah, right. You just said that, and I've heard that too. I need to watch that. Sounds good.
It is excellent. I went and saw the Child's Play film. See, I was a young teenager, and my sister and I went on a double date, and we went to go see this. Our parents were like, "You're gonna watch some John Hughes movie?" Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're gonna go do that. So we saw Child's Play. Came home, started hanging out. My sister started falling asleep on the couch. It was probably around 11:30, 11:45 at night. Me being the wise ass little brother, I went into her room, grabbed her Cabbage Patch Kid, and I said, "Hey sis," and she was like, kind of, "Hey what?" I threw it at her. She screamed so loud, I was grounded for like the next 10 years. But was it worth it?
God.
Absolutely. That was great.
Oh, I've got a good horror. Like, I might have said this on another show, I don't remember, but this scared me so bad. Remember The Exorcist 3?
Yes.
The one, which I really liked, actually. George C. Scott.
Yes.
So the part, I mean, it's a famous part, she's checking the rooms, the nurse, and then all of a sudden you see him come after with those whatever those things are, those spring-loaded things, and you hear whoosh, like that sound. I was shaking, right? Like I don't usually get scared. I went to use the bathroom in the movie theater, and the self-flushing toilets, I don't know if they were new. I turned around in the thing and it went whoosh, and I'm like, ah! And everyone's screaming out of the bathroom. People checked on me. They thought like something was wrong with me.
Well, that sound will always scare the hell out of anybody, Wendy. And you're just like, you don't even want to stand up when you're in the bathroom at Walmart. You're like, that shit's going to hit quick. You're like, it's so loud.
Let's hit a couple of comments. JW, it's ahead of the curve. Original was fabulous. Even the reboot is okay, but not great. I'm assuming he's referring to Child's Play. And we got Brian. My little brother had a My Buddy, and I tormented him with that doll.
My Buddy. Peter, do you remember this? My Buddy.
Well, yeah, that's what it was based on.
I love
it.
it.
I didn't know that he was actually. I mean, I knew that, but I never made the correlation. It was really based on the My Buddy, which was the creepiest looking. It was Amy. It was a boy's doll, which I didn't know Chucky was based on that, and it was supposed to.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Oh,
They had a kid sister too.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had that in Canada, Jamie, but it was called My Buddy, and I remember I can sing that commercial. I won't do it anymore, but
My
I remember Teddy Ruxpin with little tapes that would go into him.
Yep.
Oh yeah, putting Iron Maiden in them.
Yeah.
Well, we had him as a phone, and so he sat on the counter and he would, whoever was talking, the Teddy Rux, and we used to talk to my Yiddish Nana, right? And the Teddy Rux would be going, "Darling, what are you doing? Are you saying Yiddish me?" With like Teddy Ruxpin. So funny to hear him curse in Yiddish. Wish I could still do that. I gotta find him. It's pretty funny.
Jamie's got something to say. She's just like, I'm right there. I'm on the tip.
That's right, Jamie. That's why I'm like, you got to take. I feel
You got
bad.
to jump in.
Take the mic from us.
Head
and
first.
Bring it to you.
I could tell you lots about my old phone. I had a Snoopy phone.
I remember
Aging
those.
myself. They was really cute. And then the Garfield phone.
I remember those.
And the Mickey Mouse phone.
Yeah, I didn't.
I had the clear, the clear phone that everybody had.
The clear one. Love the clear one.
But like a swatch. Remember that?
I had the Swatch phone. I did. And I had the Swatch on my freaking wall. I was like that Zach dude on Saved by the Bell when I was a kid down here in Florida.
Yeah.
I grew up in Florida. Come on.
That's okay. You could. By the way, even though all of Amy's was not around, she was a baby in the 80s. We all were around in the 80s, or we were teens. Amy's, I don't know if you guys know this, Amy's obsessed with the 80s. So it's like she was there. She was over.
I was there.
You were there. Okay. I gave her my old high school yearbook, and she was like, "Oh my God." And she was looking through it and like, "Oh my God."
Because I've always wanted, like, I would love to go back to just go to high school in the 80s. I mean, I couldn't imagine how fun that was.
I remember that toothbrush, man.
Big hair.
and JW saying all these people like to talk. Jamie Hill, get in there. So many talkers at our network.
Oh, I am a talker. For people that don't know me, so I'm just quiet right now.
We're gonna push you out of your bubble.
Right. We're gonna get her chatty. Or we're gonna start doing dirty talking on the network, Joe. And we say this because we like to embarrass Joe. It's very important to do.
We do. He gets all red, even though you can't tell because the red light's behind him. That's about how he gets that red.
Let's see.
Fair enough.
Okay, we'll work it out, Peter. Amy's got a mouth on her. I'm just saying.
It's okay. Jamie, we've never talked about it on. I just want to say congratulations on Skinamarink. I mean, what a success for that movie.
Thank you.
Who would have thought years ago that a movie like that could even make the big time? I think Terrifier 2 was a big help on that, and your guys' sneaked leak of it, I think, helped out. But I mean, what a success for an indie film. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's only 12,000 Canadian, 15,000 American.
Amazing. What was it? Blair Witch cost them, I think, 12 grand, 15 grand, and it made 300 million or whatever worldwide. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, and the original writer producer, didn't they sell it, or they gave up rights to it or something like that? Is that the story?
I don't know. Maybe for the distribution.
Yeah, they've kind of but yeah, it's funny because Jamie and I talk about Skinamarink, and I'm like, oh, there are all these cool theories about what it was, and she's like, I don't know, maybe. And I asked you, I'm like, goodness, what's his name? Kyle. I'm like, does Kyle? And you're like, he's like, he won't tell, whatever. It's like he won't say what it really, really was. So kind of want to have him on the show and ask, okay, got some DNA of paranormal activity. It kind of does.
It does. It's almost like that. Yeah, I asked Kyle too. We talked about it before we filmed, so I know what we talked about. And then, I asked him at the end after. I said, are you going to tell them who's in the dark?
And he's not going to ever say.
No, I don't think so. But
He keeps you talking about it.
Well, it's like we were talking about, kind of like Don Henley. They won't. You're like, everybody has theories of what Hotel California. What is it? And they're like, we're never going to tell. We'll not tell you. Everybody will. For all these decades, we've been guessing what it might or might not be. So that's
Pulp Fiction. The suitcase. They kind of leaked.
It's his soul. Did you hear that theory?
Yeah. So I had a fucking theory about who keyed his car. I always said it because if you go back and take the movie and watch it linear wise, like the timeline it's supposed to be, I had an idea, and I heard him on Howard Stern, and he said it. I was so fucking happy. So if you remember, Bruce Willis comes in with John Travolta into the bar when he had to talk to him, and John Travolta calls him fucking Punchy, and Bruce Willis leaves before John Travolta. And if you go back and watch the timeline, the next time, if you put it in order, he says, you know, man, some fucking idiot keyed my fucking car. And he said it on Stern that fucking he keyed his car. That Bruce Willis
never put that together.
Like,
that's really I just, matter of fact, we're friends with Dwayne Whitaker, and they're doing some sort of James is good friends with him, and he's a delight. He's very fun. You don't remember Dwayne Whitaker he was oh goodness, Maynard and Zed and the Gimp.
Oh yeah.
So he ran the gun shop. So they're doing some sort of con, I guess. All those guys, you know.
I just worked with Joe Green in L.A. or Peter Green in L.A.
Oh, was Pete? No, which one was?
Peter Green was the cop. Peter Green was the cop. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yep.
That film never. Whenever it comes on, I can't not help but sit through it.
Yeah.
You gotta read that out loud, not.
Smart filmmakers allow the audience to sometimes think for yourselves. I don't like that. Pulp Fiction Suitcase is also based on the nuclear briefcase. It's a classic called Kiss Me Deadly. I didn't know that. Never thought about that.
If you look at Ving Rhames, he has a bandage on the back of his head.
Right, it's Band-Aid. Yeah.
And that's supposed to be where it took his soul out.
That's right. I've heard. I think James told me that. I've heard.
That's why they couldn't die when the guy shot him like 10 times.
Really?
Because he made a deal with the devil, so they were somewhat angels to get his soul back. There's tons of theories on it.
It's crazy. Crazy. Well, that's like Skinamarink, one of the coolest theories. And Jamie, you know, Jamie's in mental health, and that was like, but this guy talked about how it was head trauma, and he was in a coma, and all of these things with how the cartoons correlate. It was really interesting. I found it fascinating. Yeah. What's your theory, Jamie? Can you tell?
The cartoons definitely tell the story.
Okay.
If you watch the cartoons, Kyle's got them in all particular meaning, all of them. Yeah, and mental health is definitely in there. That's really why I chose to do the film, because it was about mental health. It's about abuse. For my thoughts and how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. And it just hit home on, you know, little kids don't know what's going on, and that can be very scary and traumatizing for a baby and a toddler, and you grow into an adult and those things can hurt you.
There was a theory that you, the mother, killed yourself.
Yeah, there's a theory that I killed myself, that I pushed my son down the yeah. There's lots of different theories for where I am.
Wow.
I know where I am.
She's in Canada. Well, I think that's interesting. I don't know, Peter. Why don't you make a Pulp Fiction-y Friday the 13th crossover? I think it's on you.
I'm big on that stuff. I like The Thing, John Carpenter's, and at the end, you know, you don't know if Child does it or not. So in Rosebud, there's a ton of if you watch Rosebud, you got to watch it like 3-4 times before you actually start to get everything. Like, I don't know if you saw Rosebud, Wendy, or not.
No, right? and I was sitting there today. No, and that was on me because I looked.
No, it's okay. But some people watch it and then they're like, "Oh, that's cool," and then I'm like, "Well, no, that was the whole movie." Like, what do you mean? And then they go back and watch the second time. And they're like, "Oh, you put little hints." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't like being able to watch a movie once and get everything. I wanted you to get things later on." So it has rewatch value, and it has meaning because it's not lazy writing the other way.
Well, I think was that your first attempt at writing, or had you written?
I wrote that in this room in my underwear in 3 days.
I like to do things.
Man, I would love to have seen that.
Maybe we'll be invited to your next writing.
Right project. When Joe comes back, every time something sexual happens, Joe comes back in.
He waits for it. He don't got time for anything else. He's like, when I hear some shit going down, I'm coming back.
Just so you can be so embarrassed. Well,
so Peter, sorry, Wendy, go ahead.
But no, Amy, you talk.
Let me ask you, you've seen Evil Dead Rise, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
Man, I didn't like it as much as everyone else did. But don't get me wrong, it's good. I probably have it second or third. It depends on. I watched it again the other day. You know what? The the fucking problem is once you start to write and direct and do shit, it's a problem because you see things and you, in your mind, you're like, I would have done it differently. So it takes you out of the storytelling aspect of it. I'm sure, Jamie, you understand that too.
Yeah.
So it could have been better. It wasn't as good as 2013, and it looked good. They shot it good. The lighting looked good. She looked scary as fuck. I thought the mother was the scariest. Even her in the hall was scary.
Yeah.
So, but they just missed out on some things that they could have made it a little bit better. They did great homages back to the other ones.
Yeah, the 2013 one was
better.
because I've watched that one like 20 times, and it just was like, I mean, you never stop being freaked out because it's just started that way and it ended that way. And I love Evil Dead Rise though. But the ending, I won't say because Wendy hasn't seen it yet. But
Wendy,
the
you're screwing
ending I
up
would
there.
have changed.
She has to make me. You know what? By the way, I want to explain something because even though we talk about horror movies and I love horror movies, there's classics that I either don't get or haven't watched or not into. But then ones that are like, I'll get made fun of for liking. Like, for instance, I love Hell House. I think it's fun.
I love Hell House too.
Right. We watched it together. We're supposed to watch 2 and 3 together next, right, Amy?
Mm-hmm.
But right. There's classics that it's a travesty that I haven't seen. And so,
Yeah. In Evil Dead Rise, 2 problems. One, the beginning is filler. It doesn't need to be there. They put it in there for extra kills, and they put it in there to show a cabin, but it has no meaning. And then at the end, when I don't want to give it away with the end, but remember,
I want to say it so bad.
The last character comes in, which has correlation to the cabin. That wasn't needed. That thing was already done with. So I just thought that was filler, and it just didn't need to be there. But I mean, it's weird because parts of the movie are better than any other movie ever. But overall, I think they hit a double instead of a home run.
I think the main actress, she was incredible.
Yeah.
She was so good. And I've watched, of course, like all the behind the scenes and things like that. And because I follow her on TikTok and she always posts all that stuff about it. And it's just the way it's so much more than what people think. It's just like you see a movie and you're like, it doesn't look like it really was that big of a deal, you know what I mean? But you see behind the scenes and they're doing these scenes like they're like in the elevator like 30 or 40 times, you know what I mean? And you're just like, you have so much more appreciation for films when you see like what everybody goes through.
That's the other problem. They gave away 90% of it in the trailer.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Did you catch the homage to The Shining?
No.
Wait, what
part? Remember what happens to the elevator?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you say that,
about The Shining is blood coming out of an elevator.
Oh, yeah, of course. I've seen that, yes.
Now that you're talking about, because when I went to see it with my oldest daughter, and she's the one who mentioned that, she's like, wow, it's like The Shining. Wow.
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh, okay.
There's no way that was by accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
they knew that shit worked from The Shining. They knew it worked.
We're going to hit a couple of these comments real fast. JW saying, film theories inspire film love. Rewatches and turning folks on to a movie you love. Absolutely.
I like that. Film theories.
Poetic.
Terry, love Hell House. All 3.
I love it. I think it's
Everybody
fun.
picks on me and Wendy because especially her boyfriend. He's like, no, that shit sucks.
He likes the classics and he like evil. He's into that. Yeah, he thinks Hell House just has no. I'm like, it's fun. It's just fun. It just hits. So sometimes that's just what a movie is, and sometimes it hits right or it doesn't. But I'm
try watching it eating Chinese noodles. I mean, I'm telling you, it hits a little bit better when you're eating Chinese. That's all I'm saying.
We're snuggled on the couch though. We're gonna spoon next time if anybody wants to join us. Hey, come on. Well, Brad, you know what? We should stream live as we all spoon watching Hell House and do the show. I think people would be interested. That's what I think.
Is Joe going to spoon with me?
Well,
Joe,
do I get to be in the? I just want to be in the middle.
Wait a minute. He asked me a question. I got to answer it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I be the big spoon?
How tall are you?
5'10".
Yeah, I'm like the same. I'm 5'11", but okay, we'll do it.
I'll wear Gene Simmons heels.
He's like, as long as Peter gets to wear the Gene Simmons tongue.
There you go.
Hey, all right. On that.
Oh, he's gone. What the fuck?
He is he's like being a wuss, but okay. Well, if I can ask, Supernatural found footage has a primal, visceral horror response. Love found footage movies. I know that's what Hell House is, but I am a huge found footage person. Do you guys feel the same?
No.
Yeah.
Some hit and some miss.
Yes.
Jamie, what's yours? I feel like we talked about one.
Found footage. I liked Blair Witch when it came out.
Me too.
All the Paranormal Activity ones.
Yep.
I like those ones. So yeah.
VHF.
I'm hoping to do more just similar to Skinamarink because I like the spookiness of that kind of thing.
Skinamarink. I thought that it was, I think it's going, and I'm sure that you already know this, the format of that, the kind of, I don't want to say simple because it's not, but just sort of how that was laid out. Do you think Kyle's already seeing, or are we seeing filmmakers that are kind of trying to do the same type of format or the same type of formula? They're copying a little bit.
They could try because his is so unique
Yeah.
that we're wondering what people are going to try to do. Everybody's wondering what he's going to be doing, which we talked about we got to all see each other last week. And, it was nice to see everybody again. And in June, we're hoping to do something together when the movie comes out on DVD. But he's been busy chatting about different clips and films and scripts. So I have no idea which ones that we're going to be doing here and which ones he won't be doing in Edmonton. But they all have different theories to them. And it's hard to get into that head of his to figure out what it all means. But if you can sit there and pick his brain one day, he may.
We'll have him on. We're going to ask him. We'll make him answer. Amy, we know how to do that, don't we?
I know how to make a man talk.
We know how to make him talk.
Yeah, it's not hard.
We have ways of making you talk. But I'm Jewish, so I shouldn't sound German.
Let's see, Peter. Look at Peter's face. He's like, yeah. She does.
The confidence in it. The confidence is.
Yeah. No, Amy knows what she's doing. All right. Then I have another question besides found footage. Peter, I'm going to put this to you. Film that scared you. One of your top films that really scared the shit out of you.
Can I give a couple?
Sure. Absolutely.
I think the 3 scariest films, The Exorcist for sure. I was younger.
Yeah.
But being older, a film that was scary. It's very hard to scare me, but The Conjuring, man, that was a fucking scary film.
Really?
Yeah, that scared the shit out. I really believed in it. And then the fact that people possess other people is one thing, but that a witch possessed her, and then when the bag ripped open and she's like, ah, I was like, holy shit. I mean, I wasn't scared like I was running home having nightmares, but I was like, remember she fell through the stairs and then the lady was hanging and she turned, and I thought they did a great job with cinematography.
You know what? What else? I don't know if y'all like Sinister. I thought the Sinister movies were done beautifully.
They were. Yeah. Wait, what was the one that I watched with you? That wasn't Sinister. The Strangers. I don't like that.
What?
Strangers?
Sinister is the one with Ethan. That's not Ethan Hawke. Is that Ethan Hawke?
That's Ethan Hawke. Yeah, he's in the first one.
I think those are done well too. I actually,
it's just crazy. I think it only had like a 5.7 or something, the rating, and I'm like, I don't really know who rated this, but okay, because that, yeah, that movie, he's freaky. I mean, and I don't get scared. Like the only movie that scared me was Paranormal Activity. I'll never watch it by myself. I'll never watch it with 20 people. I don't like that movie.
Amy, let me tell you what scares Amy. Jamie, you're going to like this because there's an easy way to scare Amy. Anything that takes place in a basement. She does not like. She doesn't like basements.
Everybody has died in every basement that has ever existed. Someone has died in it. I don't care who it is and where it's at.
Including Scream by the basement and the garage door.
Oh, the garage door scene. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That was Rose McGowan, wasn't it?
That was Tatum. Yeah.
They were just hanging out.
Yep. She had tits everywhere, ass everywhere. Just
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. That's
iconic scene.
It really was. That was when that came out. That was pretty. That was one of the first fun scary movies.
Scream was one of the best slasher flicks for me. I love Ghostface.
The writing changed the game.
It did. It was almost. It was
self-aware.
Okay, so Amy, I've got this for you. You can make out with Jason, Freddy, Leatherface. Let's do all of our picks, and then Jamie. I'm going to ask you the same question. You can make out with any of those. So Jason.
Why the hell would anybody want to make out with any of these? Where are you going with this?
Do you not know me, Joe? I'm upset. I think all the serial killers are hot.
So this is like some kind of necrophilia?
See, I would say Freddy make out because I like his knives. We could do a lot with those. But I would have to say Michael.
Because of his O face?
Is this normal for him to leave in and out? Is that, did I miss something?
No, he doesn't usually do that. I don't know where shit he's going.
I don't know.
I thought it was like part of the shtick or something.
Yeah, maybe it's part of the shtick. I don't know. He's doing it. So, Jamie, same question with you? You can make out with one of the main characters. Is it Freddy for you? Since you said that's one of your faves, you have to do it.
Maybe. Oh gosh. Yeah, because the rest of Freddy.
All right.
The rest aren't very
Wait, you didn't add Chucky. Can Chucky be in there? Because my answer changes.
Wait, you would make out with Chucky, the doll?
Sure.
And
Joe,
no, it's not a shtick. I'm trying to do stuff in the background. I apologize. But then,
Oh.
and then Chucky, I mean, that would technically be a sex toy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I meant.
Interesting. That is Chucky.
Freddy.
I don't think it would be Chucky. Interesting. Peter Anthony, same question for you, and I'm talking about the same people.
Oh, we're not going there. But I'll go. What's her name from Night of the Demons? She was pretty hot.
Oh yeah. Well, what about female Pinhead from the latest movie?
Yeah, I guess her body is pretty decent too. But Night of the her.
Which one?
Oh, Angela. What's her name?
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Shoot.
That's
Okay, Peter, I got one for you.
Shoot.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Nev Campbell. You got to make out with one of them. Jamie Lee Curtis, and you can't say all of them because that's what we all want. But Jamie Lee Curtis, Nev Campbell. Give me another Scream Queen.
Oh yeah, you already said Jamie Lee Curtis.
We'll say Emma Roberts because she's just hot. Who
Can we
else?
go with what's her name from Wednesday Addams?
Oh, Janet Ortega, but she's young though.
Jenny Ortega or the girl or the woman from Evil Dead Rise. Which one?
Evil Dead Rise all day long. That girl's
Oh,
a
wait
model.
a minute. That's a loaded question. What decade Jamie Lee Curtis?
Okay.
No, I'm talking about Jamie Lee Curtis now.
I'll go into it. First of all, the girl from Evil Dead Rise is a model, and if you look her up online, is gorgeous, tall, thin. I'm a big thin fan.
Yeah.
And, Jamie Lee Curtis. There's a lot of evidence that she was born a hermaphrodite, and her deal was cut off, and that's why she added on her breasts. And if you look at her voice and her Adam's apple on her body, especially in the beginning in Halloween '78, a lot of people said she was born hermaphrodite like a guy. So that just throws me off there too. Sorry.
You just made me love her more.
Yeah. And that's why she had breast implants back in like the early 80s when no one even had it.
Who was this? Because I missed it. My daughter was in here asking me something. Who was this?
There's stuff online that says that Jamie Lee was a hermaphrodite, like born with both sexes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she's the daughter of Tony Lee Curtis and Janet Lee. I'd never.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. All right.
Okay, so you picked Evil Dead Rise. Okay.
Sure.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Good question. Joe, same question for you. I mean, which female lead would you?
He just ruined Jamie Lee Curtis for me. Thank you.
He made her better looking. He
You look
just
good
made
at
her
trading
better.
places, though.
Yeah, you know who James picked.
Well, wait a minute. She could be the big spoon then.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Interesting.
I'm tapping out.
Yeah, you're tapping out. James always picks
Danielle Harris.
That's what Ken said as well.
Yeah. Okay. Danielle.
Oh, Jennifer Tilly. Yes.
Oh yeah,
right.
Jennifer Tilly. Okay.
Oh, I love her. She's fantastic.
She is, and she's gorgeous too.
I know. Yeah, and I love her. And
She's got that voice. Just that voice.
Yes, I love Jennifer's voice. I'm
There
going
you
to
go,
practice.
Jamie. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and
I thought she was here for a
Adrienne
second.
In the
Swamp
80s.
Adrienne Barbeau. Nobody
Thing.
has better
Swamp
breath.
Thing, The Fog.
Cannonball Run.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And there is a version of Swamp Thing where she is nude.
Yes, I saw.
Really?
Mhm.
She was also the daughter of B. Arthur and Maude. I mean, come on, it's pretty cool. That's funny. Well, you guys, I want you to know I don't usually do the outros. I'm not allowed, Joe. Right? Is that kind of you're better at the outros? But so he leaves me. Peter, one of the things that we're going to ask you is, can you, Joe? Thank you. Kind of give us an idea before we go. Where are we going to find you next? Your social media. Where can people check your stuff out that want to follow?
I got the whole camera.
Yeah, there he is.
There you go. Go ahead.
Holy
Lay it
shit.
on.
So it's real easy. It's V Peter Anthony, I think, on I don't even know. On Instagram, it's Peter Anthony. On IMDb, it's Peter Anthony. On Facebook, and so on and so forth. And there is a project. This is like the home run, right? The dream come true. You do all these fan films. You make friendships. You make partnerships with people that are successful. You weed out the bad. You keep the good. So right now, I'm in the process of writing a film called Laugh. 2 members of your on board. I might have some parts in it. And it's got Terry Kaiser in it. It's got Todd Jenkins, the Golden Globe Award winner. I'm working on getting some huge names into it. So we're shooting the trailer in September. We got $30,000 budget just for a 3-day teaser trailer. We're going to do that. Then we're going to take that trailer and we're going to give it to people to get to raise some funds. So this is like all or nothing for me. If this one works, it's going to be like movie theaters and be successful, hopefully. If not, then I'll be done, because I'm tired of, like, this is the one I'm trying to make money back. I've probably sank like 80 grand into these of my own, on my own money besides what we raised. So that's it. The movie Laugh. No one's ever seen this picture in the world. This is Todd Jenkins with the makeup on. Is going to be one of the posters for Laugh.
Oh wow, that's
Wow.
freaky.
That's cool. That's
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
Yeah.
that is very cool. So
No one's
that's
seen that.
so when you're in pre-production right now, is that right?
I'm writing it. It's right here. So it's just like so I write it and then I send it to everybody and I go tear it apart. And then they tear it apart and I get it back and then I rewrite it. Then I try to add another layer and another layer and another layer, and it just never ends. So I'm like, I don't know, a quarter way through. It's all in my head now. I'll have the notes, but how do you make it work and have it, time and pace wise and story wise is the hardest part.
That's fantastic. Well, yeah, this is exciting that we're
So
Yes.
exciting.
That
So
is
I
exciting.
spoke with Jamie about a possible role, and Amy has a most likely a role in it.
Jamie and Amy.
Yeah.
that is
Maybe
exciting.
Jamie
Well, Joe and I will be waiting for our scripts as well. We can't wait.
I would like to be Big Spoon number 2.
Big Spoon number 2. Wendy's going to be like, I'm always told I have like a 1-900 sex phone voice. So I'm going to have Wendy be one of those, the female one. From
Oh well, she knows all about that.
Yeah.
Right.
I just narrated an erotic novel. It was hysterical.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I never do. This was a while ago, and like my daughter would come into the studio. She's like, "Oh, are you moaning?" It was filthy.
Did it work you up at all?
Yes, I would finish, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" And I call my boyfriend. I'm like, what are you wearing?
I got a case of the vapors.
I got a case of the vapors. Please just bring me my vape. Yeah, it definitely worked me up. But I've narrated for Adam and Eve before too, which was kind of funny because it was like upscale porn, and it was
Right.
like, as Christian fingers the anus opening with, and I'm like, it was
The
kind of
anus opening.
the anus opening and sphincter. I said it all.
Damn. It
Mhm.
doesn't
And
really
your
work.
dirty mouth. You got a dirty mouth, Wendy.
It's too technical to be dirty with the anus. Hey, you want me to lick your anus opening?
Yeah, but this was like upscale. Like it was supposed to be like very like. I forgot what they called it. Sinclair University. Like it was supposed to be, that kind of. Like,
Intellectual.
Nobody likes. Okay, Wendy. Don't ever say anus, because we all know that you hate assholes. Okay. She's not a fan.
I don't
You
want
saying
my
literally
ass,
or
I don't want my butt to be looked at.
She just don't want her ass up where it shouldn't be. If you get my drift.
I don't like my I don't
Really?
like it. I don't like that. And back in the day, no matter what, it seemed like there was always that shaft of moonlight that hit. I just like, oh my god, please kill me. Yeah.
And now anus opening is ruined.
Sorry. My favorite planet is Uranus. JW. And I mean you.
I know a girl that can't have sex with any lights on. She would not with me. She would tell me. She's a friend of mine. And she would tell me she's like self-conscious of her body. She's
Most
like,
women are.
She's like, if I'm in a hotel room, she's like, she goes, I'll turn the fucking clock like sideways so the red of the clock doesn't show. I'm like, holy cow!
You don't understand. Women. 98% of women are like that.
Yeah.
Me and Joe, we do it right in the fucking light. We don't even
I'm
care.
telling you, man. And I
Yeah.
don't have a problem going with a banana hammock to the beach. And hey,
My
You
first
know?
husband was from Holland, so don't even kid about that. It was embarrassing as hell because he'd show up with a stupid banana hammock and this much of his butt crack hanging out. I'm like,
I
please,
was 14 when I got my first Brazilian.
you
Oh,
got a
God.
Brazilian? Do men do that? Oh, I love it. I got one, and I've never had one before. Have you, Jamie? Have you done a Brazilian?
Nope.
I kind of want to do that. I want to lift my legs up and have them wax every part of it. Yeah, sure.
I actually liked it. Anyways, just
I know a girl who does those, and she's told me some horror stories about
Taint that the
What?
truth.
them.
That's
I delved into it. She said a girl basically, this is disgusting, but went to the bathroom and didn't really wipe, and then went there for a
Oh, no.
and they were like, go shower. Like, what are you doing? Ugh.
That's I'm sure they have seen some shit. I'm literally
People
some
are
shit.
nasty.
Yeah, I guess there's some jobs that maybe wouldn't be fun to do, but
So, Jamie, based on all this, are you going to be joining us
Are you going
again
to come back to
anytime
us,
soon?
Jamie? Are you good? Are we staying? Are you going to stay?
She's like, I can't show this to my kids.
I
Sure, I
thought
can. They're in their 20s.
Oh, really?
Who's the oldest here?
me. I'm 54.
Oh wow, you don't look 54.
Jamie, how old are you?
And 46.
Same here, Jim. I'll be 47 May 28th.
Baby.
Joe?
No, I just turned 40.
25? No, I'm
25, Joe.
Me
I'm
too.
47, so I guess I'm the second oldest here.
Yeah. And Amy's the baby. She's 36. 36? 36.
We'll say that.
We'll
Yeah.
say that.
That's what I
So I'll
do.
be 38
Whatever
in
somebody
December.
I go with. So someone's like, "What are you, 36?" I'm like, "Yep, there it is."
That's what I say. I'm tired of correcting people, and that's what you think that I am. We're just going to go with it.
Yeah, it's definitely, look, here's the deal about getting older, everybody. Don't do it if you can help it. Freeze time. 54, it's not fun from up here. I'm not liking it. So,
Wendy,
I
you're
know.
pulling it off very well.
Absolutely. But the thing I'm looking forward to is not giving a shit even more or less than I do now. Walking around as an old person and saying,
Wendy, think about how many people have pleasured themselves to your voice, your 54-year-old voice, or 52,
That's
54,
right.
whatever it was at the time.
Adam and Eve, yeah.
I mean, I've done it.
that's right. And I phone sex all the time.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's, you know what? I mean, I got to be honest. That's the thing about voiceover, by the way, everyone. You could do a lot of things you could do it till you drop dead. I mean, literally, a lot of my voiceovers that are very, were successful, and they've dropped dead after their last gig because you can't really age out of it. Your voice gets sound more mature, but never would have said 51.
Tell Joe to get off your lawn, Wendy.
Get off my lawn. That you're right. The last thing I'll say is right. When you get older, you can do that. You can be the crazy old lady, which I love
That's what
to
I
do.
was saying. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's right.
Not giving a shit.
And you get the comfortable chair, so.
And you blame it all on senility.
And you blame it on the dog. No, I'm kidding. You guys, wonderful show. I laughed, I cried, better than cats. So go again and again.
All right, so
I laughed, I cried. We all got off. So it worked out.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go around for the socials again, and Peter, we're gonna put you on the spot one more time. Social media, where can they check up on your projects and everything?
What am I? So, YouTube, Peter Anthony Productions on YouTube. I forgot. If you go there, you can watch me in Fall of Camp Blood. That's probably my best acting role, my biggest acting role. And Rosebud's on there. So Peter Anthony Productions on YouTube. And I have a podcast, I forgot, on Peter Anthony Productions on YouTube. And then Peter Anthony or The Peter Anthony on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth. So thank you.
Awesome.
We love you, Peter.
We love you too.
Thank you. I'm really happy to come on the show. You were a doll baby.
Thanks.
Isn't he the sweetest?
Jamie for being so quiet. I feel bad.
Jamie,
I know Jamie. She's never coming back. Never expect to see her. We're weird. We're just weird.
All right. Since she's talking, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, everyone knows
And
where
your
to find
projects.
me. Everyone. So I have an Instagram, TikTok. It's all the same. It's just Amy Cody. Well, wait. No, Instagram is Amy Cody 1, and then TikTok is just the final Scream Queen. That's TikTok, and then Facebook. I think everyone that I know is pretty much on there anyway. But yeah, look me up.
Jamie, you are next.
I am next. I'm always on Instagram, so that's jamie.hill.vo, and usually everywhere else, and including Clubhouse.
Yeah, she's on Clubhouse.
I love Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Whoa, what are you doing? Why'd you do that? Get
Okay.
out of there. Stop sneaking in. All right, so Wendy.
I am an old person because I'm just on Facebook, although I do have Wendy's ear, but I do have Instagram and I think TikTok and YouTube. You can look me up, Wendy's ear. I don't know what my handle is. I'm not on there really, but go ahead and check it out. And other than that, everybody, I do, I always say it, I shouldn't say this, but I do voiceover, private coaching, teaching. So if that's your thing too, I do that. But yeah, other than that, that's it. And I think I'm going to try to get on Clubhouse with Jamie again. I used to do Clubhouse, so.
Nice. And I'm going to have to figure out how to do voiceover for Adam and Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, go to the Indie Escape Network on all of our socials, please. We have YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. There's one more, Twitter. Please go to those, like and subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. Doesn't cost you a thing, means the world to us. And on that note, I think we're done, gang.
Thank
Great
you.
show, guys.
Thanks
So
for
I'll
having me.
see you in the back room, whoever sticks
All right.
around.
All right.
Play us out.
I'll think about it. We'll do a little this. We'll do a
Little that.
little.
Little that.
Wait a minute. Why isn't my music playing right now? That's a little embarrassing. Well, on that note, we're just going to hit the end broadcast then because, why not?